Welcome to this video on fiber optic communication. In this video, we will be discussing on the various causes for attenuation of a signal in an optical fiber. I am Dr. M. Sumathi, Professor of Electronics and Communication Engineering. Attenuation in a fiber is the loss in signal strength as it propagates along the fiber. This graph shows the attenuation for various wavelengths. The overall attenuation has been indicated, which is caused due to several factors which we will be discussing in the consecutive slides. Attenuation in a fiber is loss in signal strength as the signal propagates in a fiber, and it is caused due to absorption loss, scattering loss, bending loss and core and cladding loss. Absorption loss is when the signal power is absorbed by the material, and it is due to atomic defects, intrinsic absorption and extrinsic absorption. Scattering loss, which scatters light in various directions, is due to linear scattering and nonlinear scattering, which can be further subdivided as linear scattering into Rayleigh scattering and Mie scattering, and nonlinear scattering as stimulated Raman scattering SRS and stimulated Brillouin scattering SBS. Bending loss occurs when a fiber is bent, and it is classified as micro bending loss and macro bending loss, and core and cladding losses which occur because of the difference in refractive indices between the core and the cladding. So, we will be looking into detail about each of these loss. So, first we will look into absorption loss. It is due to material composition and fiber fabrication process. The power is from the signal is absorbed by the material, and some of the power is dissipated as heat in the fiber. Absorption loss is due to atomic defects, intrinsic absorption and extrinsic absorption. Atomic defects is due to defect in the glass composition itself. It is due to imperfections in the atomic structure of the fiber material, such as missing molecule, atomic clusters, etc. And the loss due to atomic defects is negligible compared to intrinsic and extrinsic absorption. It is significant only if the fiber is exposed to ionizing radiations, such as in nuclear reactors, medical radiation therapy, etc. And the extent of damage depends on factors such as the intensity of the ionizing particle, the dose rate, so on. So, because of this exposure to ionizing radiation, attenuation centers or defects are created in the fiber which absorb optical energy. As you can see in the first graph, the higher the radiation, larger is the attenuation, and the atomic defects relax or anneal out with time, which is shown in the second graph. So, atomic defect is to be considered when the fiber is exposed to ionizing radiation, otherwise it can be ignored, it is very small. Extrinsic absorption, it is mainly due to external impurities, mainly like transition metal ions and OH ions. Transition metal ions such as chromium, iron, copper, they are present in the raw materials that are used to manufacture an optical fiber. In earlier times, when the fiber was drawn in the molten state, the concentration of these impurities was high. Now, with vapor deposition method of manufacturing optical fiber, the concentration of these transition metal ions is very less. OH ions, they are present due to the oxyhydrogen flame used for hydrolysis reaction of metal halides in the manufacture of the fiber. So, first the transition metal ions, the absorption loss due to them is because of electronic transition from one subshell to another incompletely filled subshell. So, the electrons absorb energy and move to a higher subshell, or it could be the electron transition from one ion to another. Next, absorption losses by OH ions. The hydroxyl group, they bond with the basic glass structure and they create bonds which vibrate, and these vibrations, they absorb energy at certain wavelengths, which is shown in the first graph, and they cross large absorption peaks at wavelengths of 1400, 950, 725 nanometers. And fibers have been manufactured with complete elimination of OH ions, which result in low water peak of full spectrum fiber, and all wave fiber is the first such fiber that has been manufactured. So, extrinsic absorption can be reduced by improving the manufacturing technology. Next is the intrinsic absorption. Intrinsic absorption defines the transparency window for a material over a spectral range. It is associated with the basic fiber structure and it sets the fundamental lower limit for absorption. And it is of two types: electronic absorption band in the UV region and atomic vibration band near the IR region. So, in the UV region, the photons interact with the electrons and excite into the higher energy level. So, the electrons absorb energy from the signal and they move on to the higher energy level. In the IR region, see, the basic glass material is itself made of atoms which have bonds. So, these bonds are vibrating. So, in interaction between this vibrating bonds and the electromagnetic field of the signal results in transfer of energy from the signal to the vibrating bonds. So, this causes absorption in the IR region. So, as you can see in the graph, the absorption in the UV region, it is inversely proportional to wavelength, and at around 1.2 micrometers, the absorption is mainly due to, or the absorption loss is mainly due to absorption in the IR region and absorption due to OH molecules. Summarizing absorption loss is due to atomic defects, extrinsic absorption and intrinsic absorption. If the fiber is not exposed to ionizing radiations, the loss due to absorption due to atomic defects can be ignored, and extrinsic absorption can be greatly reduced by improving on the manufacturing technology. Intrinsic absorption due to the UV region absorption and IR region absorption are the main factors for absorption loss. Next, moving on to scattering loss. Scattering causes the light to be scattered in various directions. It is of two types: linear scattering loss and nonlinear scattering loss. Linear scattering loss is further subdivided into Rayleigh scattering and Mie scattering. And nonlinear scattering loss occurs when the power of the signal is large, and it is of two types: stimulated Raman scattering and stimulated Brillouin scattering. Linear scattering, this causes transfer of power from one propagating mode linearly into a different mode. For example, from the propagating mode to the radiant or leaky modes, and there is no change of frequency on scattering, and it is caused due to microscopic variations in material density, composition fluctuations, etc. And it is of two types: Rayleigh scattering and Mie scattering, which we will look into detail. Rayleigh scattering, it is due to refractive index variation that occur over distances which are very small compared to the wavelength of light, and the two major factors for that are molecular density fluctuation and compositional fluctuation. Considering molecular density fluctuation, in an optical fiber, the molecular density is not uniform throughout the fiber. There are regions where the density is higher or lesser compared to the average molecular density. So, when these variations, which cause variations in refractive indices, if these refractive index variations are over a small distance compared to the wavelength of light, then Rayleigh scattering occurs. Similarly, compositional fluctuation, the fiber is made of oxides of material such as silicon oxide, germanium oxide, etc. So, the fluctuation in the composition of the material causes Rayleigh scattering. So, Rayleigh scattering occurs in all directions, and it is given by the expression indicated over there. And observe in the expression that Rayleigh scattering is inversely proportional to lambda power 4. So, the higher the wavelengths, the scattering is lesser. And in nature, the reason why the sky appears blue is because of Rayleigh scattering. Moving on to the next type of linear scattering, it is Mie scattering. Here it is due to inhomogeneity size that is large comparable to the wavelength of light. If the inhomogeneity size is greater than lambda by 10, then the scattering is large. And the defects or inhomogeneities are trapped gas bubbles, unreacted starting material, crystallized regions in glass, etc. And the scattering is mainly in forward direction. Mie scattering can be reduced to a great level by removing imperfections due to glass manufacturing process. So, by improving the manufacturing process, The impurities such as trapped glass bubbles, unreacted starting material, crystallized regions in glass can all be eliminated. And next, by carefully controlled extrusion and coating of fiber, irregularities such as core cladding interface, diameter fluctuations can all be eliminated. Thereby, the mice scattering can be reduced by improving on the manufacturing technology, and also increasing the fiber guidance by increasing the relative refractive index difference, mice scattering can be reduced. Moving on to nonlinear scattering. Nonlinear scattering occurs normally at high power levels. When the power of the signal propagating the fiber is large, only then nonlinear scattering effect comes into picture. So, this causes optical power from one mode to be transferred to another mode in the forward or backward direction and at different frequency. In linear scattering, the frequency shift did not occur, but in nonlinear scattering, frequency shift occurs, called Stokes frequency. In fact, this principle is used in amplifiers. Raman amplifiers specifically are very popular, because nonlinear scattering causes attenuation in one frequency and gain in power in another frequency. Frequency in which the signal gets attenuated is used as a pump frequency, and the frequency in which the gain occurs is used as for transmitting the signal. This way it is used in amplification of signals. Now, there are two types of nonlinear scattering. One is stimulated Raman scattering and the other is stimulated Brillouin scattering. SRS and SBS are both observed when the power levels are high in single mode fibers, and they are normally not observed in multimode fibers, because multimode fibers have large core diameter and therefore the power threshold is large. First, stimulated Raman scattering we will consider. So, scattering occurs both in forward and backward direction, and the scattering causes or results in scattered photons and optical phonons. Phonons are nothing but vibrations, atomic vibrations. So, vibrations in the optical frequency range is also generated because of the scattering, and the threshold value is 3 times compared to that of stimulated Brillouin scattering, and the expression for SRS is given. The nonlinear scattering due to stimulated Brillouin scattering, it mainly occurs in the backward direction, and it appears as upper and lower sidebands separated from the incident light by the modulation frequency. And because of this scattering, scattered photons and acoustic phonons are generated, that is phonons that vibrate at the acoustic frequency level. So, SRS created optical phonons and SBS creates acoustic phonons, and the frequency shift in SBS is maximum in the backward direction, and the threshold for SBS is given by the expression. So, in scattering we have seen there are two types, linear scattering and nonlinear scattering. Linear scattering, Rayleigh and mice scattering, where mice scattering can be minimized to a great extent by improving the fabrication technology, and therefore Rayleigh scattering is an important scattering which causes loss in a fiber, and nonlinear scattering is to be considered only when the power level of the signal is large. So, to summarize the absorptions and scattering loss, this graph shows the overall attenuation because of absorption and scattering loss. As can be seen, Rayleigh scattering is dominant at the lower wavelengths, and it is also dominant in the region between the UV absorption tail and IR absorption tails. At higher wavelengths, IR absorption is dominant, and the absorption due to hydroxyl ions, there are various absorption peaks. So, the red color graph shows the overall attenuation due to these various factors. The loss in a multimode fiber is greater than that of a single mode fiber, because multimode fiber the dopant concentration is higher and therefore greater compositional fluctuation, and also the higher order modes the loss is greater. Coming on to bending loss. Bending loss is when a fiber undergoes a bend, then there is loss. It is of two types, macro bending loss and micro bending loss. Macro bending loss, it occurs when the bend radii is large compared to the fiber diameter. For small bends the loss is very less, but as the radius of curvature decreases, the loss increases exponentially. And if the radius decreases beyond a certain critical radius, the loss becomes extremely large. The picture shows an optical fiber that is bent. So, when a fiber is bent, the electric field that propagates in the fiber, the tail end of the electric field of a particular mode, that is which is in the cladding, the outer edge of the cladding, it has to travel faster to keep up with the electric field in the core. So, beyond a critical distance xc, the electric field has to travel faster than the speed of light to maintain with the field in the core. So, which is practically not possible. Therefore, the field radiates out. So, we see loss occurring due to macro bending. So, the higher order modes radiate out first, and also the number of modes in a curved fiber is less than the number of modes supported by a straight fiber. Going on to micro bending losses. They are due to repetitive small scale fluctuations in the radius of curvature of a fiber as shown in the picture. It is due to non-uniformities during the manufacturing of fiber or due to lateral pressures that are created during cabling of fiber. So, it causes coupling of energy between the guided and leaky modes. Using compressible jackets, this loss can be reduced. So, when lateral pressures are applied, the compressible jacket gets deformed and protects the fiber, and the fiber does not get affected. So, to summarize the bending losses because of micro bending loss and macro bending loss. So, when the fiber is bent, the loss is significant only if the fiber is bent beyond a critical radius, and similarly micro bending losses can be minimized by using compressible jackets and other techniques. The core and cladding loss. This is because the core and cladding have different refractive indices and therefore different attenuation coefficients. So, considering for a step index fiber, ignoring the coupling loss, the loss for a mode of order Vm is given by the first expression, and for a graded index fiber, loss from a distance r of the core is given by the second expression. To summarize the various causes of attenuation, attenuation is due to absorption loss, scattering loss, bending loss and core and cladding loss. Absorption loss, which is due to atomic difference, intrinsic absorption and extrinsic absorption. So, intrinsic absorption is significant in the absorption loss, and scattering loss we have linear and non-linear scattering losses. Non-linear scattering loss is important only if the power of the signal is large, and in linear scattering, Rayleigh scattering is what mainly contributes to the scattering loss. Bending loss, we have micro bending loss and macro bending loss. Macro bending loss, the loss is to be considered when the fiber is bent beyond the radius of curvature, critical radius of curvature. And micro bending losses, they can be minimized by improving the technology used during manufacturing by providing buffering and other factors. And then we have the core and cladding losses. All these causes cause attenuation in a signal, which results in reduction in signal strength as the signal propagates along a fiber. These are the references. Thank you.